Selidova, once a town of some 25,000 people, it now appears dead. Yet, in the ruins, in basements and hiding in apartments, are thousands of people. They choose to stay as Russian forces advanced.
We hid in a basement for 2.5 months. When the Russians came, they told us it was terrible outside. The buildings were burned, there had been explosions all around. There was no power, no water, no heat, nothing.
Ukrainian artillery began systematically erasing Selidova, which they themselves abandoned, full of Ukraine's own citizens.
When it was quiet, my eldest and I would go to the well to get water. Then they bombed the well. They did it so civilians would move around less. We had to stay in the basement for a month.
How did they take it?
My eldest is 11, and this one is 2.5 months old. My eldest took it hard. We had to give her tranquilizers, but they didn't really help.
So they didn't differentiate between civilians and soldiers?
No.
What is this hatred?
I don't understand it. I am still surprised. How we used to live in the past and what's happening now. I do not understand what they pumped into their heads. I don't understand. I didn't expect this. I know what war is. We did exercises in the army. I served in Czechoslovakia. But this, it's terrifying. So terrifying.
Our squad carried out its humanitarian mission in the city of Selidova and visited civilians. Just recently we talked with them at the same place, but unfortunately we found them in this state after Ukrainian drone hit the bench directly. We brought them food, brought them medicine, but unfortunately they did not wait for us. They did not wait for the evacuation, since the Kiev regime continues to hit the civilian population.
Russian troops are now evacuating thousands of civilians along streets and roads that are little more than shooting galleries. The civilians who survive evacuation tell their own horror stories.
They would break down the door and there was an elderly woman sitting in her apartment. They would tell her she's a traitor waiting for the Russians and shoot her. They killed 8 people in my apartment building. Civilians, specifically civilians. No uniforms, no nothing. They would call you pro-Russian and shoot you.
For what?
Just for the heck of it. They told everyone if you stay, you're a traitor waiting for the Russians.
They executed civilians, just dumb killing.
How?
With assault rifles.
No, why?
Revenge, we're pro-Russians to them. Hatred. I don't know what drugs they were on, but they were out of their minds. A neighbor ran to me and told me, Yulia, they killed your husband, right by our house. They shot him and 2 neighbors. We buried them ourselves in the yard. Local men helped me.
Who did it?
Ukrainian soldiers did it when they were running away. The Russians had entered the city. The Ukrainians ran and killed everyone they came across. My husband was outside the apartment block entrance when the Ukrainian soldiers came across him. They riddled everything with bullets.
I'm so grateful to the soldiers. I don't know their names. I don't know how they found out, but they came to us and said that they had heard that there was a 3-month baby and her mother hiding in the basement. They told me they had to evacuate and save me. I will pray for them and their families for the rest of my life, for getting us out of there, for saving us.
What happened in Selidova is nothing new. It has happened in every big settlement abandoned by Ukrainians. And it will continue happening to astounding silence from Ukraine's supporters. Morad Gazdiev, RT, from the Donetsk People's Republic.